Alright guys, 3 Titans trailers dropped today for Season 4. One was the 30-second trailer for the entire season, and then 2 were sneak peek scenes for episodes within the season. So what we're going to do here, we're going to watch all of them and see how it looks. Quickly, before I get into this, I do realize that a lot of DC fans are split on this show. It is very conflicting, the way they tell their stories, the way they present certain characters. If I were to make a Titans show myself, it certainly would not look the way they made it here. I would do a ton of things differently. What I will say about the show, I do like the darker aspect. I like how grim the show is. There's just something about the show that I guess you could say is almost like a guilty pleasure for me. Like, I still enjoy watching it. Once again, there are some really good things they do, but then there are some really questionable things they do as well. But let's see what's in store for Season 4. All right, let's do this first one, the official teaser. There's the Church of Blood. It's gotta be, yeah. Okay. Solid. Not much to talk about on the teaser. Let's watch the Mother Mayhem fights the Titans. And it's gotta be the Church of Blood, considering Mother Mayhem is part of the Church of Blood. And in this exclusive sneak peek, I have heard that we actually get to see Garfield in his actual Titan suit, the first suit he's ever gotten. So let's see.
Suit up.
Nightwing's suit looks good, that's for sure.
Check on Rachel. I got it.
I can't. I can't wait to say this. I just need to say it right now. Why in the world are they attacking Mother Mayhem one at a time? Who? Anyways. Okay. Before we watch the next sneak peek, I gotta be honest with you. I know Titans didn't have the biggest budget in the world, and I know in all 3 seasons, there were moments where it didn't look the best. But what in the world was that? What was that? That looked bad. That almost considered me not checking out this latest season. Of course I'm gonna watch it. Oh my god, though. Oh my god. Lex Luthor wants to meet Superboy. You really cannot get much worse than that last scene, so please have at least some saving grace here.
Happy rush hour, Metropolites. We've got traffic,
Like a travel bus base.
Can you take a picture of me with the both sides?
Sure.
What's this for, a profile? Nah, I want to send it to that guy.
That guy? Who?
Bernard, the Star Lab student.
Okay, got it.
I mean, come on, they made this for me. I would like to say thank you.
Yeah.
Say thank you. What?
Your phone just died.
But I just charged it. What the hell's going on?
Hey, Connor.
Connor, this is Lex Luthor. I know this might seem a bit much, but how else was I going to contact you? I'd like to meet in person. Come to LexCorp Tower tonight at 8 p.m.
What's going on?
I'll expect to see you then.
He looks pretty good as Lex Luthor. I'm not gonna deny that. And I'm okay with that casting choice.
What happened?
We have to go back to Metropolis.
All right, so I'm guessing we're going to be getting a storyline within this season where it is going to be confirmed that Superboy is half DNA from Clark Kent and Lex Luthor, making him a parallel of both good and bad. And he's going to have to question his own morality on whether or not he should take more of a Superman side or if he should take more of a Lex Luthor side. And considering still to this day they've had no problem showing Batman in the Titans world, or at the very least Bruce Wayne, they still have not shown Superman at all. They've only mentioned him. And I don't even really know if they've mentioned the fact that Superboy has a relationship with technically his father. So I don't know what the deal is going to be there, and I can only assume Lex Luthor is going to be a villain. Maybe not the main villain of the season, but overall he will be a type of villain, at least for the arc of Superboy. I'll be honest with you, I did not love what I saw at all. I really didn't. I'm already going into this season thinking, I don't really care too much, especially with seeing the production and the budget on that fight scene. That looked awful. Now, granted, the show has never done its best during those types of scenes. Anything that deals with more of the supernatural or brute type characters, they've never really done well. I mean, look at the final battle in season 2 of Titans. That was disgusting. That was probably one of the worst fight scenes I've seen in comic book TV show history. It was really bad. But then they do have moments where they're really good, but the moments that Titans tend to be good in the action aspect are characters like Nightwing or Red Hood, or more particularly Robin at the time. Nightwing, or Dick Grayson as Robin in season 1, he had multiple moments in that season of really good fight scenes. Jason Todd had very good fight scenes in the second season of Titans. Any scene with Deathstroke, the fight scenes were really good as well. But overall, when it comes to like showcasing Raven's abilities or Beast Boy or Superboy now, it doesn't look good. It looks like I made it off of a CGI special effects app for $5 in my backyard. I understand TV shows aren't given the biggest budget, but I think you still got to do better than that. People have done a lot better with a lot less. And when I mean less equipment and less money. I don't know what their excuse is for that. It just did not look good. Now, this season is being split into 2 parts, and the first part is coming out November 3rd on HBO Max. Now, for someone like me who's in Canada, or anyone else like you who are watching me in Canada, we obviously don't get HBO Max. So I believe we're going to have to wait a little while until it finally gets picked up on Netflix, which by the time, I believe the same thing happened with season 3, when it came out, for example, say October time, if that's when it came out, we had to wait till February, March of the next year. So we had to wait about 4 to 5 months. I have a feeling it's going to work the same way here. And personally, I am in no rush. I'm not going to try and find another way around it to watch it immediately. I do not mind waiting at all, especially after what I've just seen here. Something I've also realized too that this show suffers from, and I can already tell this 4th season is going to suffer from it. Number 1, its lack of villain association. Number 2, how often they get bested by their villains just to end up beating them anyways. So let's start with the villain association first. What I mean by that is simply the fact that whenever they defeat a villain, they never end up using them again. For example, season 1, we dealt with Trigon. Now, Trigon's an unbelievably powerful villain in the DC universe. How they just got rid of his character at the end of season 1, beginning of season 2, almost felt pointless. It felt like you almost watched an entire season of Titans just to disregard the main threat of what made everything so important in season 1. And the same thing happened in season 2. You learn this deep history and background of this old superhero family, a group of teenagers, young adults who really got along with one another and called themselves a family, just for Deathstroke to move in and ruin everything when he killed Aqualad. And what do you do at the end of season 2? You just disregard Deathstroke, one of the once again best villains in the DC universe, especially to the Teen Titans or someone like Batman, and you just threw him to the side. Every villain they've used so far has only been used to bridge the gaps of A to B. And once they reach B, they don't need that villain anymore because for whatever reason, they are just not important to any future regarding the Titans team as we know it now. Which then leads to my second point about fighting these villains, defeating these villains. From what Titans seems to suffer from is what the CW's shows suffer from, especially the Arrow show, and actually more in particularly the Flash show. One of the biggest reasons why I stopped watching the Flash show at season 3, it wasn't just because of all the issues that show suffered from, like production, writing, cast, crew, acting, everything. Like, it's a multitude of everything I didn't like about that show. But one of the biggest things was the characterization of Flash's powers and abilities. He was never capable of defeating the villain. For 20 episodes a season, all you would get was whining and complaining. I can't do it. I'm not fast enough. I'm not strong enough. Can you guys hear me? He's too powerful. I have to run away. And it was always the same BS of Iris being like, run, Barry, run. You can do it. We believe in you. And you want to know why? Because we're a family. And when you have family, you can do anything. I love you, Barry. And all of a sudden, he'd get like this massive raging speed boner and he'd beat the villain with absolutely no problems at all. As if the last 19 episodes of the season didn't matter anymore. Now, of course, you need to find a balance in these shows for the hero to lose to the villain, but for the hero to eventually beat the villain at the end of the story. Of course that's going to happen, but just because you beat the villain does not always mean that you win the war. And you can see a lot of that stuff effectively happen in a lot of superhero stories today. Without diving into too many examples of other superhero projects that have done this, I'm just going to take my favorite example, The Dark Knight. Within that film, how many times does the Joker beat out or outsmart Batman? pretty much the entire damn film. It's not until the end of the movie that the Batman finally gets his hands on him and beats him. But even within saying that, did Batman really beat the Joker? No, because at the end of the day, even though within that battle Batman won, the overall war was completed and won by the Joker. He effectively completed the mission he was going for, which was turning Harvey Dent into the villain. Your hero is absolutely allowed to win, and on more occasions should win, but your villain is absolutely allowed to win as well. And that is what Titans suffers from. Every single season, that is what happens with the villain. The villain either beats the heroes one-on-one, if not in a group, outsmarts the heroes, just for all of a sudden, the final episode of the season, all characters obtain a 500 IQ, and they know the movements of the villain, and they beat them without any problems at all, as if the entire season didn't even matter in the first place. That narrative, that trope has to stop, but already I feel like they're gonna do that in season 4. It's too early to tell. I understand we're a month away from the season, then we'll be able to judge. But do we really think that Mother Mayhem is going to be a character that they will call back on in the future of this show? If they can't even call back Trigon or Deathstroke, why in the world would they care about calling back on Mother Mayhem? I'm telling you right now, that sneak peek we saw of them getting bested on a highway with really terrible special effects and CGI, by the end of the season when they fight Mother Mayhem, they're going to make it look like child's play. I can already feel it. It's a gut feeling, and 2 out of 3 times your gut feeling tends to be correct. I also just want to say one other thing. Why in the fight against Mother Mayhem is Tim Drake just standing there with his staff in regular casual wear while everyone else is wearing their costumes or their Titan suits or something? I don't know. It does not fit. It does not feel right. That scene really threw me off. I'm not gonna lie. It did not give me the best idea of how season 4 is going to turn out. We'll find out in a month. But anyways, everyone, now it is your turn to let me know what you think of these trailers in the comments below, and let me know what you think of season 4 so far, if you're looking forward to it, if you agree with me and you think it just looks rough overall. But we'll see what happens. Maybe this ends up being its last season, or maybe it turns things around, it proves me wrong, and there's more to come. But anyways, everyone, until next time, I will talk to you all very soon.